Skyrim honestly has to be one of my favorite Bethesda games, at least for now. Just the world and the exploration in this game and the quests and the choices that you make throughout the story, as well as just exploring and the combat and all that, it's just really amazing. In today's video, I wanted to talk about why I appreciate Skyrim, because honestly, I've been enjoying this game and I've been playing it for a bit of a while right now, and I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on this game. So let's not waste any time, let's get straight into the video. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about with Skyrim are the quests in the game. The quests in Skyrim are honestly just really amazing and pretty interesting, and I've said in a bunch of other videos, what makes Bethesda really shine are the quests, because they're just so interesting. So I'm first going to be getting into these quests and talking about two specific ones that I found really interesting and super fun. Now, the first one was where I had to pose as one of these Stormcloaks. One of them had these documents, and I had to pretend to be a courier for the Stormcloaks, and it was just really interesting. I was traveling and exploring and got to this one place, and I asked this guy some questions where he last saw the courier in the game. He didn't really give the information to me immediately, but he eventually told me, and I intercepted him, got the documents, and went to go, pretend, and gave them the fake documents to basically pose as one of the Stormcloaks, and it was just really interesting. And while I was there asking that first guy, some questions where he last saw the courier, there were also some other dialogue options, as well as just asking him, and anything about magic, which I didn't really, think too much into it. I just asked the question because I thought it was interesting, and I'm gonna get back to this later in the video, because this part was honestly just really crazy when I asked him, does he know anything about magic? But yeah, I intercepted them and posed as one of these Stormcloaks in the game, and that was just really fun and interesting, trying to keep the Empire on top. So I really enjoyed that quest, and it was really fun. But another quest that I just really thought was just super amazing and mind-blowing was this other quest where I had to get a sword. Now, this quest wasn't like something like from a main mission. This was just unlocked from just randomly exploring the map. I stumbled upon this one bandit who basically explained to me that there's a sword and their friends are in this like cave or temple, and this was so crazy because this was like one of those random events like in Red Dead Redemption 2 or 1. This was just complete random, and I decided to do the quest, and it ended up being a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Like, this quest was honestly so interesting. I took down a bunch of different powerful enemies, and when I eventually got to it, I had to defeat the Pale Lady, and this was something that I really like about these Bethesda games, specifically Skyrim. It's just how much freedom that they give you to figure out how to do these quests on your own. It was with this specific quest where I had to figure out what I was going to do. This Pale Lady was just really powerful. I could have either just beaten her in combat, but it did say banish the Pale Lady, and I really like that Skyrim lets you figure it out yourself. It doesn't like tell you, it doesn't hold your hand or anything. It was like for a few seconds that I realized that all I needed was to get the Pale Sword, the Pale Blade actually, and then I banished the Pale Lady away, and it was just really amazing. Like, I did not expect it to be like that, and this was just from a random encounter in the game where there was this huge boss fight with the Pale Lady, and she was really powerful, and I was able to figure out how to complete the quest on my own. And this was just from a random event, and it was just so mind-blowing to me just what exploring the world of Skyrim gets you, because this quest was honestly just really amazing, and it just shows just how much effort Bethesda put into their quests. Not necessarily the main story, but the side content and quests in the game, because this was just super fun. Another thing that I really appreciate about Skyrim is the combat in the game. Now, I mentioned in another video that I really enjoyed Fallout New Vegas, but I did mention that the combat and gameplay wasn't too strong. You're mostly playing the game for the narrative and the choices that you make. But man, Bethesda did a really good job when it came to combat as well as just storytelling and narrative with this game. Because yes, you're playing it for the narrative and the choices that you make, but honestly, the gameplay in Skyrim is honestly really solid. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, I actually had a fun time with it. There's a bunch of different spells that you can use and learn, some different builds as well. I don't have a specific build in Skyrim, I just do whatever is best and whatever is at my disposal, whether it's using swords or bow and arrows or magic or whatever, all those sorts of stuff. I don't have a specific build, but the gameplay is honestly really fun. I did not expect this, especially from Bethesda. Not that it's amazing or whatever, but it's still pretty decent and it's really good and it's very fun. And I know there's a bunch more for me to discover in this game and a bunch of other builds that I can try out. But at the moment, I'm just doing whatever's at my disposal and finding stuff. And yeah, the combat is really solid and it's really fun. Another part that I really appreciate about Skyrim and basically other Bethesda games in general, or at least most of them, is the freedom in this game. Like honestly, if you watched my gameplay video for Fallout New Vegas, you would have known that I was really shocked when I found out that anybody could die in that game. And it is the same in Skyrim, and I feel like that's what really makes Bethesda shine. It's that even though it has a main story in mind and a narrative, there is no main character. Of course it's you, the player, but anybody in this game can die, and it just gives you the freedom to just kill anybody that you want in this game. There's no main character, and to basically show you this, I basically did an experiment where I did attack, General Leke Reget. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, my bad. But yeah, I attacked her and the game actually let me do it. So if you got mad or what she said at you or anything, you could literally fight them or kill them in the game. Of course, as you can see in the video right now, I am struggling because I'm not as powerful. But the fact that this game lets you do that and it lets you just kill anybody despite them being a huge factor in the game with future quests is just insane, and it's so fun. Like, I was mind blown the first time I discovered this in Fallout New Vegas, and I'm glad that they kept it for this game. The freedom that it gives you is just so amazing. I even attacked some of the people at Whiterun, the king and all that, and the game let me just because I felt like it. By the way, I did load in a save and went back because I don't want any beef with these guys, because yeah, they were just way too powerful, but I did load in a save. But the fact that the game lets you do this and that anybody can die even by your hand is just so insane, and I really appreciate this with Skyrim. It gives you a level of freedom, and honestly, I would definitely like to see what happens when you kill one of these characters and what could happen. I did load in a save because I didn't actually want to do it. I just wanted to see if the game would let me do it, and it did, and it was just so insane. But I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other following quest lines that would happen if you actually tried to kill the king of Whiterun, or the Imperial or General Tullius. And the fact that the game lets you do that and anybody can die is just really amazing, and that's a big factor of why I really appreciate this game. Another big part about Skyrim that I really enjoy is the exploring in the game. Now, I didn't really like exploring in Fallout New Vegas. Of course I did sometimes, but honestly it was just way too dangerous, and the setting, like a wasteland, I didn't really find it too amusing to my taste, and I didn't really enjoy exploring. But with Skyrim, man, this game is just beautiful with the world design. It is just so amazing and so fun to explore, and there's a bunch of different weapons that you can find all over the map. For example, there's this one sword that I have that has like fire damage, and you can strike an enemy and there's fire. I don't specifically know where I got the sword, but I'm pretty sure I got it from just looting enemies and exploring the world. Exploring in Skyrim has to be one of the best feelings I've ever felt in a game, because there's just so many cool things that you can find throughout the world, such as spellbooks. Now, this is one thing that I really liked about Skyrim, is that the way that they, you get new powers and spells is by reading different spell books that you can find throughout the game. And it's so cool that they did it that way, instead of doing it like you unlock it through the skill tree, you can just explore the world, find a spell book, and then, unlock some super OP spell. For example, I was just exploring, and I do this thing in Skyrim or other Bethesda games where I would put on a quest, but at the same time, when I'm going to that quest or the specific location, I would just take the long route and do detours. So I'm basically exploring the world, but I'm also doing a quest. I just like doing that sometimes because, that's just me. But it was just so cool when I found different things out through the world when I was exploring, such as this great white sword, no, the great sword that was just over here in the map, and this mammoth that was just submerged halfway through the ice. Like, that was just so cool to me. And there's also a bunch of different random events that you can encounter in Skyrim. NPCs fighting other NPCs, or bandits, or fighting mammoths. It is just really cool. It's sort of like in Red Dead Redemption 2 with, the random events throughout the game, except in this game, Skyrim, you can actually like have it can have its entire own quest line, which is so amazing. Just the items that you can find throughout the game is super cool and super fun. Because, like I said, you find a bunch of different random NPCs doing their own thing, and you can chat with them and have dialogue options. And yeah, another thing, like I said earlier in the video, when I talked to that guy and asked him about, the whereabouts of the Stormcloak Courier, I asked him, anything with like, does he know anything about magic and all that? And this is another thing that I really like about the game that I've mentioned, the dialogue options and the choices. This was honestly just a no biggie to me. I didn't think too much into it when I asked him this question, but little did I know that just asking this one question from this guy, from exploring the game, it would turn into its own quest line. Like, that is so crazy. So I went to this other college, I forgot the name of the college specifically, but there's a college in Skyrim where you can learn magic, and I went there, I just went there after he told me, after completing the other quest that I mentioned, and it was so cool, because this is like its own quest line, and I really appreciate this game that they put that in there, and it was just a dialogue option to me. I didn't think too much into it. But, I went out throughout the world and started exploring. Like I said, Fallout New Vegas, it was pretty much of a dangerous world. And, Skyrim is a dangerous world as well. But they keep the balance with exploring without it getting too annoying with NPCs trying to kill you all the time. They keep it pretty balanced. So it was a long journey, exploring the world in Skyrim is very nice, but you also get that sense of journey, you're fighting off different battles with different NPCs, and then when you finally get to your destination, it's just so rewarding. So when I finally got to the different towns and, got to the college, I had to do a test before I could actually get inside the college and learn magic, and this was so cool to me, and I really enjoyed it. I completed the test, I had to perform a healing spell, but I didn't know the healing spell at the time, so I did bribe them with another option, like in the dialogue options, which was just super fun as well. Got there and got introduced, and they gave me a tour around the college, and that is so cool. All of this just from a dialogue option, from asking this guy a simple question. And this is why I really appreciate Skyrim, like even the little things can turn into the biggest and most fun quests. Like with that one time I encountered the NPC and it turned into this whole quest with the pale lady, as I mentioned earlier in the video. It's just super amazing, and I really appreciate that Bethesda did this with this game. The world in Skyrim is so rich and amazing, and just the things that you can do is so cool. I'm currently doing this quest line, learning magic, with all that in the college, and it is so cool, and I'm definitely excited to do that quest. But the fact that they actually put this in there, and this is a link to the combat, you can be a mage, or you can be a knight, or you can be a thief. The game lets you write your own story. There is no main character, you can do whatever you want, almost whatever you want, but the game gives you a lot of freedom to write your own story. If I wanted to, I could be a mage, and my entire story and quest line could be me learning different magic spells and becoming an OP character, and I can already feel the sense of progression in this game is going to be so good, because like I said, I don't have a specific build. I'm just doing whatever's at my disposal, but right now I'm just honestly exploring the world because there's just so much to do. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Skyrim movie on YouTube, where someone's just playing the game and they're writing their own story, doing specific things for a movie, like on YouTube. Like, this game, I can definitely see how it's endless and you can play it forever. Like, there's so much to this game. It's so rich and amazing in its world. And yeah, those are the reasons why I appreciate Skyrim. It's just an amazing, fun game. The dialogue options might seem meaningless at first, but when you actually get into the world and you start asking questions that might not seem too important, this game just gets really amazing and super fun. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. We are so close to 200 subscribers. We're currently at 179 subscribers. Thank you to all you guys who subscribed. I really appreciate it, and it really helps out the channel. But yeah, that's why I appreciate Skyrim. Make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below why you appreciate Skyrim. If there's anything specific or something that I missed or something that I haven't explored yet, make sure to share your thoughts down in the comments below, because I know some of you guys have been playing this game for years, so I definitely like to hear your thoughts and why you appreciate the game. I'm the Immersive, and I will see you guys next time.